Hello guys, uh, welcome to Solidwork assembly. This section is the assembly, and we're going to make sure that all these parts are arranged to form a system. So the thing we're going to do is to get your mouse, your arrow to this section. So now this is SolidWorks assembly. This is the interface of SolidWorks assembly. So assembly, the interface does not look different from SolidWorks parts, but only that you're going to get to you're going to meet some new command manager that makes it different from SolidWorks part. Like this command manager assembly has their respective items which you need for your modeling. So the assembly will give you the chance to join all your components together to form a particular assembly or system. Now, the first thing you're going to do is that in this assembly, we're going to get our parts. That is, everything you see here, we're going to import it inside the assembly, then join together. So how do we do it? So make sure that you save your work to the name that you can remember. For instance, this one is called part AA. Okay, let me remove this one because we're not making use of this. Part AA, part BB, and part CC. Instead, part AA, part 3BB, part 4CC. So I'm going to the first thing you're going to do is to move to your insert component. Once you click your insert component, it's going to show you an option where you can bring out the files that you've created, then it can be imported into the SolidWorks assembly. So remember, our first component is named part AA, right? So you go to this section called file name. You get to that section, then you go to your keyboard, you dial in part AA. Alright, part AA, right? Once you click your part AA, then you click open. Now this is part AA. This is where this is actually our first model, right? So remember, from our exercise, this is what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to get a system from all the particular model that we build. So this is the base, and every other component follows. So in our SolidWorks, this is actually our first model. Now, mind you, once this file has been imported, there is something that SolidWorks is going to do for you. If you can take notes, you can see that you cannot move this component. It's a fixed component. That is, SolidWorks assume that this is your first component. Is going to be in a fixed form where it serves as a foundation where other components can sit on. So by default, we cannot move this component, but you can change the default setting to make it to move. So normally I would have left it like this, but for a demonstration purpose, I'm going to make sure that it is movable. So what you're going to do is that you're going to click on any part of this model, you right click, you're going to give an option, and in this option you will see float. Once you get to float, you click float. Now you can move your model in any direction you want, like in a linear direction from this point to this point, up and down, anywhere in the graphics area, or you can rotate your model in its axis. So if you want to move this in lateral position, you just take your arrow, touch end of the model, then you right click. That is, for those who have your mouse, you right click, then you move. Once you right click, just hold it firmly, do not let go of your mouse. You move your mouse in any direction of your want. So any direction of your mouse will be the direction of your model. So for those who do not have a mouse, you can just hold firmly to your you left click to your to the button below your touchpad, then you take your hand to the section you've highlighted in your model, then you begin to play with move your hand in respect to the direction you want it to go. So that is, if you want to go to the direction, you just move to that direction. So it's pretty simple, and it's very straightforward. So once you are done, I'm going to position this model in a way whereby I can ensure that all of my models sit on it. So from our model, we can see that this is actually the position which is supposed to be. That is, it's going to have this section, right? All right. So okay, so I'll make sure that I flip this to this direction. Yeah, because remember, from our model, the chamfer is facing downwards, where the other place that is not chamfer will be faced upward. So we are actually in the same direction. So the next thing is to go to the same place we went to, that is in the assembly. You get your insert component, click the insert component, you go to this direction. But before you get to this place, if your system cannot bring out the thing that was shown earlier, you just go to your browse, click your browse, then this thing will pop out. Understand? So once you've gotten there, you take your arrow to this section, then you dial in the next thing that you want to import to your assembly. So remember, I save mine as parts BB 3BB. Alright, so this is my part 3BB. So once I've done that, I click here, then I click open. Now notice my part 3BB is formed. So I'm just going to put it anywhere in my graphics area. So now the part BB is formed. Now part BB is not in a fixed position. This is going to be in a fixed position by default, but any other component that follow is going to be in a float by default. So it's going to be movable. Now from our model, we can see that this part lapped to the smallest hole. So I'm going to do that right now. So you can either bring all your components together and distribute them at once, but for the sake of this demonstration purpose, I'm going to do that one after the other. So in assembly, you can utilize the graphics area to be convenient for you, whereas to make sure that your model fits in properly. So I can either rotate my model in its axis, just to get to ensure that this thing is corrected in a way that this can sit properly. So now what I'm going to do is that once you right click on your mouse, you can move your arrow in a straight line. Understand? But once you left click, your model will move around an axis. You understand? So it's a different function of if you can hold your mouse, if you can place your hand on your roller. If you place your hand on your roller, the entire screen graphics area will move. But if you can place your hand on a particular model, it's only the model that will move. You understand? So once I right click, once I put my hand on the right hand of my mouse, it's going to rotate the model to the direction that you want to do. So now once I have done that, I will make sure that I'm going to attach this model to inside this model, so that it's going to fit together. So how do we do that? You make sure that once you've positioned it together, you right click. There's an option called mate. It is under the assembly. you see your mate. Once you click your mate, now mind you, if you were able to draw your model correctly, you will see that the size of this model should be the same of this, right? So I'll make sure that this point is selected, this cylinder is selected, and then the hollow part of this section is also selected. That is the hole is selected. Once it's selected, it's going to join together. Now you can see that there's an alignment now. That is, the hole is aligned with this cylinder. So in that case, we have constrained our model in this direction. You cannot move this thing anymore. It cannot be deflected anymore. The only place that is constrained to move is either up and down. So in that case, you've achieved the first step. So I'm going to take my hand to my ruler, hold the frame lead, then roll it to this section. I'm going to zoom in, then I'm going to click the surface and this surface. That is, once I click the two surfaces, it's going to join together. So I'm going to click OK, and then we have our model in this manner. So once you're done, we could see that we've achieved this particular model. Now the next thing is to bring the smaller part and form our system together. So we go to Solidwork. So as remember, we save it to be as part 4cc, right? So you go to your insert component, go to your browse. Once you go to your browse, you can just type part 4cc. Alright, so part 4cc is shown below. You click it, then you click open. Now the part 4cc is now shown in this place. Once it's shown, just click anywhere in your mouse, then it's going to free the movement. Now I'll take my model to this region where it's going to be aligned together. So I'm going to touch any part of the model, then I right click. Once I right click, I'm making sure that the model now revolves around an axis. Yes. Once I've right click, I let go of my mouse, then I take I take it to this to the model again. This time I will go to left click. I'm going to bring it forward to the place where it's going to align. So once I'm done, I'm going to calibrate. I'm going to move my the whole graphics area in a way that every part will be done in a way that I know where I'm to position my model. So what I'm going to take it closer. Now you can see that this model is now aligned with, is partially aligned with the circle below. So I'm going to hold frame to my ruler. When I hold frame to my ruler, I'm going to drag my mouse in a way that this model faces us in this manner. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to my mate. Once I go to my mate, I touch this part, right? Then I touch the hole inside, and you can see that the model is now aligned perfectly. So once you are done, I click this section or this section. So what is being done, I'm going to move my graphics area in a coordinate place. So once it's done, now we can see that this model can not move any other place again. It cannot. If you want to move this model, this other model will move all together. So we are left with this position, either to move it up and down. So now we have to ensure that we mate this particular model on this surface. So how do we do that? In our mate, you click this surface. That is, there's a boundary where this thing should lap. So I'll move my graphics, then I zoom in, I click this surface. That is, this surface this surface and this other surface should touch each other. Now because of that, we could see that we have locked in the model, so it's not going to move any longer. So let's see what we've done. Now we can see that this model has been locked to this model below, and this particular model has been locked to this particular model below. So let's see what we've done so far. So let's see what we've done so far. Now this is our model, so I'm going to section this model to see what is actually happening inside. Just hang on and let's see what we have. Okay, I think there's some kind of mix up somewhere, but alright, so I'm just going to alright, there's a kind of mix up somewhere, but regardless, you can see that this model has been joined together, and in that aspect we have finally formed a system by joining each component together. So you can see that assembly is quite interesting process, but it's kind of tricky because you don't know when to move the graphics, you don't know when to move the model or move it in any direction of you want. So we can see that everything can be controlled by your mouse or your touchpad panel. So it's actually a form of mastery before you can achieve what you want. So this is actually the simple thing about the assembly. Now if you are able to succeed in doing that, I'm sure that you are now good in assembly. You're not really good, but you have gained some quite knowledge in assembly. So that's actually how this works. So I think, having said that, we have come to the end of our first class in assembly. So make sure you do what I actually did, and in case you have a problem, you can always reach out to me. I'm always here to guide you towards you being perfect in this work. So having said that, I think we have done it our model. So the next thing we're going to do is to move to a very complicated model. This is what we're going to achieve. This thing looks scary, but with the right guidance we can achieve this, and it's going to be very easy for us. But for now, this is actually what will come to the end of this class, and then thank you for your time, thank you for listening, and see you in my next episode. Bye for now.